my scrappy friends. How are you guys doing? How was your weekend? Mine was really good. My husband had the whole weekend off, which is not usually the case, so it was really nice. We went out yesterday, and then today we just hung around and I scrapped a little bit. So now I am working on this video to get out to you guys since I didn't post one last night. It just got a little too busy. But yeah, I've got 4 layouts done this weekend, which is a lot for me since it's been taking me a couple of days to get one done. So I wanted to do some watercolor mixed media type stuff. So here I'm taking some green type colors and I'm going to do some on the top, and then I'm going to do some more blues on the bottom. And I had seen a layout on Pinterest that was from a blog from Cassie. I think it's Cassie Box from Paper Issues. It was linked to, I think, Paper Issues. So I actually didn't end up using the concept that she had, but she had the top part, she had the paper cut pretty much like not quite in half, but like 2/3, and then she had a section of the white cardstock showing. And I really wanted to do something like that. I thought it would be fun, but I wanted to maybe do like 2 sections, so that's why I'm watercoloring, because I'm thinking, oh, I'll leave some of the space open and I will be able to, you'll be able to see a little bit peeking out. With that said, I don't go with my original theory, so that is why I didn't, I'm not going to link to her page, but if you look on my Pinterest board under scrapbook ideas or something, I think I have that layout. So it is from March 10th, 2014. So here I'm just kind of trying to darken some spaces, maybe lighten up a little bit more. I just really want to add like some definition to this, and so I do kind of splatter. And so here I think, hey, that would be really cool if I take this Plumeria stamp that I got at the local craft place, and I believe this company makes stuff that is more Hawaiian. I don't know what brand that stamp is, but I got it in like their, not dollar stamp because it wasn't $1, but in their like Hawaiian theme type stuff. It's a really, really pretty print. It doesn't show up that great with the watercolor, but with other colors like a regular ink pad, it does. It has some really nice texture to it. So here I'm just going to dry this up. And that up above is where I have my extension or my power supply. So I have a whole bunch of stuff hooked up in there. But obviously, as you can see, as of now, I don't have enough space for everything. And a lot of that is due because now I have a hard drive, an external hard drive that I keep. I have a computer right next to my desk. So my desk has a computer and then my workstation. And I did this mostly so that like I can watch YouTube videos. I don't know. Do you guys watch videos? Do you listen to music? I don't know. I was curious of that today. I was thinking about that when I was scrapping, because today I decided to listen to music instead of watch YouTube videos, which I usually do. And I found that I was a little bit more productive, and I was just curious what people do. So this is the Chamel paper, and this is the one that here you're going to see. This is where I start to do what I first planned and leaving some space. So I just cut a little piece. Of course, I take the strip off, and on this one, because it's all white, you can't really see where the actual tab is. So it takes me a second to figure that out, because I didn't want to cut too much off, because I didn't know if I was going to back it on anything, which I end up doing. So I guess in the end, it didn't really matter. But at this point, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I'm just kind of looking to make sure I got it pretty close to 12. Because I do want it to fit in my page protector quite a bit. I hate when the page protectors are like, I got a pack of cheaper ones when I first started, and there's like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch maybe off. So it's like, it must be exactly 12 by 12, because when you stick everything in and you have your embellishments, it sticks out just a little, and that bugs me. So yeah. So now I just get the good stuff, because I'll pay the extra, you know, couple of bucks, I guess, that it is. So I'm just distressing this because I'm thinking that that'll look kind of nice. I've done a couple of layouts in the past where I've done a little bit of distressing on like the edges and stuff, and it's kind of fun. I mean, it's a little bit different than what I like do now. I kind of like a little bit more of a cleaner look. And at this point, I'm like, I'm not sure how I'm feeling, so I'm trying to figure out what papers I think are gonna go. And this paper right there is Fancy Pants, and that is Summer Soul, and that paper is Coconut Tree, and I love that design. I mean, it's bold, so you could, well, I guess you could use the whole thing if you really wanted to. But what I really like, and I've done this in the past, is cut out some of the pieces. So here I'm gonna cut out this flower because I'm not really sure exactly how I want to put it to leave that space open. So I'm trying to think of how, you know, how I can achieve this look that I want in the way that I have my plan out. Which is probably not the best way to tape a process video, but it actually ended up not being too long. It didn't really take me that long, even with taking it apart a little bit and starting over. It took me a little bit more than an hour, so maybe like an hour and 15 minutes, because some of it cut off at the end. I will admit that right now. I ran out of space. My iPad just doesn't hold. I think it's all these updates that Apple has been doing. I think they've been taking up a little bit more space, and so even though I've deleted things and deleted apps that I don't use, I can only really hold about a process video, and I had another one from earlier that night. So I just really wanted to show you guys this one, because part of also my thought of doing this, I actively post picture or layouts to the Pretty Page Facebook page, and that is from Tuesdae. I had to think about it for a second. So Tuesdae has a Facebook page, and it's an open Facebook page, so anybody can like it and anybody can look at their stuff. And some ladies share their layouts. Not that many, actually, but there's getting to be more and more people. So I think more and more people are finding it and being brave enough to post stuff. And so it's been kind of fun to post things and to be a part of that. It's like I really enjoy watching Tuesdae's videos. And, you know, she's one of those people who is like a mentor, just like Nicole Jones and Robin, and so it's really nice to be able to, you know, be a part in helping another scrapbooker. I know I think she's wanting to do some stuff on her own, and that's really, and it's, I mean, I guess for some of us on YouTube, that is probably a goal, you know, to do something a little bit more. So here I put down this other paper, and I think this might be from Fancy Pants too. I'm not positive though, because I cut off the branding strip a while ago. And on the other side is Doilies. I want to say it's like the Summer's End or something like that, maybe. I'm not positive. So I wanted to use that because I wanted it to kind of mimic like sun rays a little bit. And that other paper that I have behind the photo is from That Away collection. And that one is like clouds with a map underneath it. That is Studio Calco's, their collection that has to do with like travel theme stuff. So, and this is where, oh, Oh yeah, this is I had already took things apart. I'm like, wait, what am I doing? This is where I decide that I do want to cut it up a little bit. I want to make the white a little bit smaller, and I want to back it on something else. I want to add a little bit more interest because I'm trying to make it work the way I have it. So up at the top, you don't really get to see much of the blue. It just ended up that way. And you know, there are some scrapbookers who, you know, make a layout and they do the hard work and they want that hard work to show, and that's cool, you know. And yeah, it's like you do all that fancy stuff just so that you can see it, but sometimes it doesn't work out. So sometimes I think you have to give yourself permission to be like, okay, it's okay to cover it up this time. It didn't work out, but I can move on from here and I can still use this. And I actually really like how the green shows up at the bottom. I leave a little bit of that with the flower. So here I'm using this other side of the Schmel paper. And that one, what is that one called? Harding, maybe? I think that one might be Harding. It's a wood grain, like a teal wood grain, and then this like geometric. And I really like the pinks that pop into that. So, you know, I'm very much color oriented. So, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about Tuesday's page. So she started doing challenges this month, and she has a challenge to use acetate, or like, well, yeah, like the overlays and stuff that are really, really popular nowadays. And so actually the last layout I did also had a lot of acetate on it too, but I really wanted to do this one with using some of I have a ton of those summer themed overlays, and I really wanted to try to use some up. So I ended up only using one, but I used some of the Heidi Swap letters from my Scraptastic kit this month. I gave myself permission to take those out and use them on a different layout. And also, one thing that I use that's not quite acetate, but that goes along with that theme is I have this I bought some clear like bags. They're like the cellophane type bags that have like a green, like flowers and leaves and stuff on them. So I thought that that would be kind of fun to use, since this is a picture of the mountains when my mother-in-law came to visit at the beginning of October. We were in the city, and then we were going to go to the beach. But we decided to go from Honolulu to the other side of the mountain. Now, for anyone who's not ever been in Hawaii, there are 3 major highways that pretty much go to the different parts of the island. So you can either go right through, you know, to the heart of like Waikiki and Honolulu. You can go on towards the North Shore, or you can go towards like Kaneohe and the other side. So like the windward side. So we were going towards the windward side. But to get there, the highway goes through an overpass. Or I shouldn't say an overpass. It's not really an overpass. Sort of. But it goes through the mountain. So it's this quite a decent tunnel. It kind of reminds me of like the tunnel of when you're going into New York City. I think that's the Lincoln Tunnel. There's a couple, but except for that, when you come out, the mountains are gorgeous. It's all rainforest because all the clouds just sit right on top of there. And it was sunny when you were looking out over the water, because you can see clear out to Kaneohe and Kailua. And I mean, the water is just gorgeous out there. I mean, it's that blue turquoisey green color that like makes you want to like, you know, squeal in delight because you're in Hawaii. It just screams Hawaii. But when you look over at these mountains, you see these jagged mountains and all the trees and foliage. But then there sits these clouds, and almost every time we go through there, you see these clouds just hovering over top. And it's gorgeous. So I tried to take a picture, and of course the picture doesn't do it justice, but I really wanted to document this because when we leave here, I want to be able to remember these views, and I want my kids to be able to see it and maybe want to come back because it's just a gorgeous place, even if you just, you know, visit. So here I'm looking through cards because I want to use these on, try to get some of these used up. I have tons of like summary type cards, and I only use that like hexagon-y one. So, and it is going to cut off soon. And I add, let's see, I add some Maggie Holmes, I add sequins, I use some black watercolor splatters at the end, and some cork stars. So, and Scraptastic. So the title is called, Undoubtedly Our Weekend View is Pretty. And I didn't mean for it to be this long, but I just kept adding words because I had a wood veneer from Scraptastic called Weekend, and I knew I wanted to do something like Weekend View or something, and then I found the Chamel Undoubtedly, and so it really worked out nicely. So here are the close-ups, and you can see all the fun details that I've added because I did quite a lot. So I think I did a really good job with incorporating the overlays and the acetate without it being overpowering. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys next time. And if you guys want to join in the challenge, you can always make a layout with some acetate and some overlays and post it to the Pretty Page website, or not website, Facebook page. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.